Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective, here with my cousin Donathan. NBA Finals Game 4 recap. The conclusion of the NBA season as the Golden State Warriors pull out the broomsticks and sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers on their home floor. Kevin Durant is your Finals MVP. Donathan, your beloved LeBron James, the one who you claim is the GOAT. Your thoughts on being swept in the finals now twice in his career. 3-6 in the finals overall. There's going to be a lot of LeBron talk and narrative about his legacy. Just your overall thoughts on his performance tonight, series, and so forth.
It wasn't his best performance, but very frustrated. Very frustrated. And I just feel like, you know, when you've done so much, I know y'all talk about MJ would have did this, Kobe would have did that, you know, but those players I feel like didn't have to deal with what LeBron has to deal with. I know he picked those players, don't get me wrong, but it's just like they made the most dumbest defensive switch-ups ever. Like, it's like straight mental breakdowns they have. They'll go on a run, and then they'll let Golden State catch that run.
Right.
And then you'll see them before they inball the ball. LeBron's like, why didn't you pick him up? Or Kevin Love's like, I think,
right.
You know, like, it's just simple mental breakdowns. And at a certain time, when you had them breakdowns the whole season, even LeBron, before they even got to the playoffs, he was talking about they weren't going to make it. When your own franchise player says y'all aren't going to make the playoffs, that's how
I think he meant the finals, but they still made it. I think he was talking about in light of, to your point, how they were playing defensively at that point in the season. You know, if we keep this up, if we keep performing. Now, one thing I will give them credit for is they kind of answered the bell at every critical moment in their journey along the way in the Eastern Conference Finals. Every time they had to have it, they got it, right? But when you're going up against a superior team from a superior conference, and I'm seeing a lot of chatter on Twitter and social media right now talking about Golden State has broken the league. Yes, they've won three championships in 4 years, back-to-back champions, basically undefeated since they've gotten Kevin Durant. And we'll get to the Finals MVP discussion here in a second. But this was a Golden State team that I felt like kind of walked through this series and still swept Cleveland. But if you think about I think you saw a difference in the conferences, to my point, because Golden State didn't sweep anybody in the West.
Not at all.
They didn't sweep anybody in the West. San Antonio got a game. The Pelicans got a game. And obviously the Houston series, Houston took them to 7 games on their home floor and lost Chris Paul up 3-2. So the league, that to me, and I said that then, that was your NBA Finals, was that Houston Golden State series. The Eastern Conference came down to Cleveland with his YMCA crew versus the Boston Celtics without Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
That was your Eastern Conference final.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same Cavaliers team. That was the same Celtics team that should have lost to the Bucks in round 1. And the same Cavs team that was a couple calls and a couple situations away from losing to the Pacers in the first round. So I think people got, kind of, miffed, if you will, by the Toronto series and some other things. And yes, LeBron was putting up historical numbers, had a historical playoff run. But one of the things that was discouraging, if you're a LeBron fan, was just the effort and how he went out. And I've always been, look, I often get labeled a LeBron hater by those who are lazy with understanding the game, understanding historical context, and just basic narrative that the media tries to perpetuate about LeBron. He's their cash cow of the NBA. They're always going to promote him as the replacement and the great to the previous product, which was Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan, the reason why I think he's the GOAT, I know he's the GOAT. I have Michael Jordan #1, and I get labeled LeBron hater, but I have LeBron in basically my top 3. I still have him. I have him third behind Kareem and Michael Jordan. I think at this point, I probably have LeBron over Magic and Wilt, but and I think LeBron is more closer to a Wilt Chamberlain than a Michael Jordan at this point in his career and his resume. But Michael Jordan, yes, he lost playoff series before he went on the 6-0 run with the Bulls. But when he lost the playoff series, he emptied the clip. Everything was left, blood, sweat, and tears. He's not going out like that. He's not going out lazily closing out on Steph Curry, loose balls flying in front of him. He might get kicked out of the game for fighting somebody, but I'm telling you, he's going out balls to the walls. You look at those Detroit Pistons series, even when Detroit beat them 6-7 game wars, 88, 89, 90. Michael Jordan, it took Scottie getting a migraine, all these situations. And I look at LeBron, and yes, his help is lackluster. Totally agree with that. Some of that is self-inflicted, and some of that falls on the Cleveland Cavaliers organization. But you have to give an effort as a star and know how just giving that all-out effort to win. And I didn't see that all-out effort to win tonight in what was an elimination game. And people tell me that LeBron's the greatest elimination basketball player of all time. I just didn't see that tonight. And if I'm a LeBron fan like yourself, I would be disappointed.
But at the same time, Kobe and Michael, they weren't 32 in the finals, or 31, however old LeBron is.
LeBron's 33.
Well, 33.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to talk about LeBron having that killer instinct, then we can talk about when he had that instinct back when he was in Miami in the finals playing against the Spurs. I've seen LeBron play one-on-one when he had to. He dove for the ball, made chase down blocks, got dunks. He was playing aggressive, catching lobs.
I agree.
But
I agree.
At a certain point, this is a 33-year-old LeBron.
I agree.
48 minutes into his body almost every playoff game. And now you're going against the best team, and you're frustrated, and you're tired. You're 33. There's not much you can really, don't get me wrong. Yeah, he could have, probably put up more points or something. But at the same time, is it really worth it?
What do you mean, is it really worth it? You're saying it's not ever really worth it to give all-out max effort? To your point, I agree with everything you said. My thing is, when I'm comparing you against Michael Jordan, I got to nitpick. That's all I'm saying. If I'm comparing LeBron against anyone else, he deserves no blame or no fault here. And I'm not blaming or faulting him. I'm just saying that I know what I would have got from Michael Jordan tonight. I'm not saying Michael Jordan would have beat this Golden State team. I'm not saying he would have even won tonight's game, the way it unfolded. But I know Michael's not going out like that. I know the type of competitor I'm getting. And that's why I have that preference. You have LeBron as a preference for a different reason. Moving on, we have to talk about Finals MVP. Kevin Durant wins it over Steph Curry. I thought it was deserved. Kevin Durant averaged basically 29 points a game, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Good all-around performance. Made some key defensive plays. And basically went 50, 40, 90 for the second year in a row, which is extremely impressive to do, to shoot that well, that efficiently over the course of an NBA Finals series. Your thoughts? Did you think Steph deserved it, or were you cool with KD?
I'm very positive that KD should have won it. When Golden State was in Game 3 and everybody was looking at Stephen Curry and Clay, they weren't there. KD had to be the man of that team.
I agree. And KD, and look, Steph had an unbelievable Game 2, set the Finals record, most threes, and was sensational in Game 1 as well. Whereas KD had a poor performance for him. The thing is, KD's poor performance, he still put up 26 and 9. And Steph had 1 for 10 from 3 and the 11 points in Game 3. Really tough call there. I know Steph had an amazing game tonight, but there was never any real pressure. KD also put up a triple-double, which kind of nullified with some of the stuff that Steph did. Semantics, but for those of you who, again, when we get into these legacy discussions, Steph Curry is still shy of having that Finals MVP on his resume. So that's going to be, something we look to debate going forward as we start to rank guys like a Steph Curry all time, guys like a Kevin Durant all time. These are people that are creeping into top 25, top 20 all time greatest player discussions. So that's the thing. Again, I don't think we're ever knocking guys. It's just I'm assessing your resume versus another player because there's no way we can actually see these players do get out on the court. I think we're going into off-season talk now. We're looking at, hey, what's the narrative going to be around LeBron James's free agency? Because that's going to be the biggest chatter. I think you would agree with that. Where is he going to end up? And you made a comment to me. You said, I think another super team is going to be assembled. You want to elaborate on that?
It's kind of hard because if you think about LeBron leaving Cleveland, would you take him out of the discussion of being the greatest? Because say he left and he went to Houston Rockets or something, and he actually did win a ring, well, then that dude would bring up LeBron had to leave again to get a ring. So that will also ruin his legacy and what he became by himself. So I feel like he's going to stay.
You think that would, if he goes to Houston with Chris Paul and James Harden, that would ruin his legacy?
If he goes to any team that's championship contender, I feel like that would.
I mean, I think that's the only roster that's together right now that's championship worthy, as we saw with their fight against Golden State. I don't think that would ruin his legacy, but I do think people would the detractors would chime in and say, you see, LeBron needed James Harden, who's going to be the MVP this year, and another, top 10, top 15 player in Chris Paul to get over the hump. He basically needs a super team to win.
Exactly.
But, I mean, Golden State is a problem not just for LeBron. Golden State's a problem for everyone. Everyone's trying to crack the code against Golden State. Houston was very, very close. I know, San Antonio's trying to figure things out. All these young teams, Boston, Philadelphia, they're arming up their young guns and whatnot. Much of their plans consist of making a potential pitch to LeBron James. I personally wouldn't. I mean, if I'm LeBron, I think Houston does give me my best chance to win. But I do agree. I do think you have a valid point. And that was one I hadn't thought of, is the narrative of him teaming up with those guys. Because he wouldn't be pulling a KD because KD went to a team, obviously, that defeated him. But it would be, I mean, you are going to technically, you would be going to the team that was the best team in the NBA this year.
Exactly.
In the regular season. So that would be interesting. I think from a prediction standpoint, right now, I think he goes to LA and tries to form his own squad. I think LeBron is just as concerned about off the court, setting up, perception, the team, the brand of the LA Lakers. Again, I compared him earlier to Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain went to the LA Lakers late in his career, won, set some records there. I could see LeBron doing something similar, going to play for a Magic Johnson, especially if they're able to, I don't know about the Luke Walton thing, but if they're able to get a pretty good coach, gets Paul George, potentially another superstar, he could go there, do something, basically Miami West, if you will. I think that's probably his move. I would love for him to come to the San Antonio Spurs. I just don't think that's realistic right now. But again, we have to see what Boston's going to do, what the Spurs are going to do. There's a lot of key players here. Boston's going to be a player. I just don't know. They would have to trade Kyrie again, right?
No.
How's that going to work?
They could.
He's just trying to get away from him.
I honestly feel like after this season, when them two played against each other, they always had something to chat about. And it looked
they did show love.
It did look like Kyrie actually kind of missed playing with LeBron. So, because Kyrie did not attend to Game 7 when
he didn't.
Cleveland won.
He didn't.
Now I don't know why, but that's just in the air. So maybe because he knew it was gonna happen. I don't know, but I feel like Kyrie has some type of feeling for LeBron still.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they get back together in Boston. Obviously, they would have to make the contracts and situation work, and maybe Cleveland gets some compensation for it. But that'd be very, very interesting with some of those young core guys to be able to stick around with LeBron and Kyrie in Boston.
That'd be a nice squad.
That would be a nice squad, and he wouldn't have to go to the West.
Exactly, which is why I don't really think he wants to.
Wouldn't go to the West. He would be playing for an historical franchise, and it would give him his best chance to chase legacy, chase those rings, to pursue one Michael Jordan. So we'll see. We'll be back with some more videos, just off-season chatter. It's going to be huge. Very anticlimactic finish to the season, but one that we all knew was coming. Whether you hated Golden State or not, you knew it was coming. You knew this team was the best team when they got back together, especially once Iggy came back. It was a wrap. So it's a wrap for this video. Donathan, thank you, sir. We're headed up to Dallas tomorrow to attend the SMU football camp. Hopefully get some looks and some offers from my young friend here. But as always, if you guys like the video, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
Peace.